waiting room. Let's see.
Actually, you never know.
Okay, here we go. All right. Good morning, Maddie. Sorry if you've been waiting. Mrs. Jost was having technical difficulties with her brain. I'll explain in a minute. Yeah, little technical difficulties. Wow, that's so, it's always interesting to me because there's always 45,000 ways that things can go wrong that you don't even think about. So Haley's here and Devin is here and Maddie is here. Okay.
Yeah, just a minor
technical difficulty. So
we definitely didn't start 6th period Zoom.
Okay, so I apologize to those of you in the Zoom land. I tried to start our meeting like 14 times. No, actually, it was 2 times, and I couldn't figure out why no one was joining. And then I was like, well, we're just going to go on. And guess what? I was opening up the wrong Zoom meeting. I was opening up my 6th period Zoom meeting. So my apologies. Just not awake. What can I tell you? All right. So guys at home, give me a thumbs up. Can you see my screen? All right. Awesome. So yesterday we started to work with the day the beaver stole fire. What I did in class was while I was playing, trying to figure out what was going wrong, I had the kids reread the story. So I just want to go over what we're doing. So to get to the story again, if you're in classwork, you go to cars and where is it? Mine's a little different because I have some other things. You want to get the new assignment, the day beaver stole fire. Okay. And I'm just going to minimize you guys so we can see. You're going to open with Cami. If you have not done that, you're going to do that. You're going to run the OCR. Good morning, Kiara.
Good morning.
Okay. So I learned a couple things yesterday. Thanks to Paige, I learned how to make a text box in this program. The thing that's bugging me is I can't make the text box over here where there's a whole bunch of room, but whatever. And then I think what we did was we went through and we did question number 1. And I'm actually going to erase this for a second because somebody else in my 6th period class showed me this. So look at my screen, those of you in the room and those of you at home. What she told me I could do to fill in the letter box was if you come over here to the text and then you go to, okay, this looks really different than it did yesterday. So maybe it's well, I didn't think it was that big. But if you go to the biggest thing on there, the biggest size, and then click on, nope. Oh, not text box. That's why it's not looking right. Go to your drawing tool. It's just having difficulty this morning. And go to the largest thickness. And then when you click on the A, it fills it in for you. Okay. So if you didn't know that, like Mrs. Jost didn't know that because she's barely worked with this program, you can do that too to make it nice and neat. So what you're going to do today, okay, is you are going to answer questions 2 through 12 independently. And I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that. Wow.
You know, if you roll down the sheet, you hit the circle, and you can just make.
You can make a circle. Okay, however you want to do that, whatever that works for me. Okay, my focus is getting the answers. Okay, so when you notice how my text here is all marked up and I have notes over here, if I was handwriting this on a piece of paper, it would like be in the margins and my paper would start to look really messy because I should see your thinking on the paper. Okay, in this case, on the screen. Okay. Yeah. So what you're going to do for 2 through 12, you're going to read each question. And as you do each question, you're going to go back up into the text and you are going to underline where you find the answer. Let me erase that because that's like way too fat. Kind of like myself. Easy there, children. Okay, so, and you're gonna like, let's just say this is question number 13 over here. Like I'll circle it. That's not even big enough. All right, so I'll circle it. There's no question number 13. I'm just using this. I'm gonna circle, that's where I found my answer. And in the margin somewhere, I'm gonna write 13. Okay, now there might be some questions that are prediction questions. There might be some questions that are not right in the text. Something in the text is making you pick the answer you are picking. Right? If it's a prediction, you're basing your prediction on something that happened in the text. Figure out what that is in the text that's making you pick what you're picking. Find it, underline it, label it. Okay, so it is now 8:11. We are going to go to 8:25. And I know that some of you won't be done, but that's okay. This is an exercise and practice right now. Okay, anybody in Zoom land have questions? All right, I'm going to pause my video and I'm going to be quiet, hopefully. I'm recording. Okay, I'm resuming our recording and we just did number 2. The answer is B, on top of the hill, and our proof is right in the last paragraph. Today the cedar stands alone on the top of the hill. Okay, so let's go to number 3. Which of these happened first? I'm not going to read them just for time's sake. Alex? The answer should be C. Guards were posted to prevent the theft of fire. Alex, can you tell me where in the text I am? I said Alex. You just didn't hear me right, or maybe I slurred, but could you please answer the question?
The Times posted guards along the river hours from stolen sheep.
Okay, where are you in the text? Okay, second paragraph. All right. Actually, and I'm going to speed this up a little bit for time's sake. What technically you should do to be able, this is a sequence question, right? And in the sequence question, you know, you have to actually look at all 4 of your choices to be able to figure out what happened first. So you should have technically underlined 4 different things in the text. That's not what you did. Okay, but you should, because technically if you're trying to figure out what came first, you need to look at all 4 of the choices because all 4 of the things happened. Remember yesterday with number 1, Bella, you said something like, well, all of those things happened, but just not in that paragraph, right? So you have to look at the whole text in that case. Okay, all right. For time's sake, I am going to skip down to the next page for a second. We're going to look at number 7. Okay, because there were a couple of questions about number 7. You can tell that testimony means evidence, memorial, ancestor, advantage. All right, tell me something and be honest. Hold on, I didn't ask my question yet. My question is, does everybody know what the word evidence means? Or let me put it this way. Does anybody not know what the word evidence means? Okay, does everybody know what the word memorial means? Okay, does anybody not know what the word ancestor means? It's okay if you don't, I'm asking because that would make it harder. How about advantage? Okay, if you know all of the words in the choices, then this should not be that difficult because watch. The word testimony, I think, is in which paragraph? They stand as testimony, the last paragraph, right? So here it is. And we talked about it yesterday, all right? And we said that the word testimony meant to be witness to, all right? Here's a trick. Fill in the word that you're trying to figure out the meaning of with all of the other words of your choices and see which one makes the best sense, okay? So the chase was a very, oh, where am I? I gotta get rid of this. I gotta get rid of this thing here because it's, all right. Yeah, anyway. He's very old, but he still stands as evidence to the story's truth. He still stands as Memorial to the story's truth, that one might make sense. He still stands as an ancestor. He still stands as an advantage to the story's truth. So it's between evidence and memorial. And if we talked about this word yesterday and we said that testimony kind of was like being a witness to, when you are a witness, you are giving evidence. So the best answer for number 7 is evidence. Very good. Okay, but guys, do you see how I did that? I took the time to like plug each one of these words in the sentence to try to figure it out. The problem gets a little sticky if they give you words here in your choices that you don't understand. But you can still figure it out if you know some of them, right? And you have to go through process of elimination. You have to actually think, Pooh Bears. Know what I'm saying? All right, so time check. Let's do number 4. The chart show a cause and effect relationship. And in the cause box, it says, after running for a long time, many pines stopped along the riverbank. Which of these belongs in the empty box? This is number 4. Page. The answer should be B. A dense growth of pines was formed along the riverbanks. Where in the text are we for our proof?
Almost right underneath the image. It says after running for a long time.
Okay, so it's in the 3rd paragraph, and it's the 2nd. After running for a long time, the pines grew tired. Most of them stopped along the riverbanks. Their numbers forming a growth, blah, 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 blah. Number 4. Oops, off the page. Okay. I gotta make this smaller. All right. Number 5. Compare and contrast. According to the legend, how was the world different before there were people? Zion, what'd you get for number 5? Okay, well, let's do it now together. Okay, buddy? So it's asking us, how is the before, according to the legend, how was the world different before there were people? Animals and trees were isolated from each other. Animals and trees were located only in one part of the world. Animals and trees lived together in greater numbers, or animals and trees moved about and talked together. So here's a little hint. According to the legend, how was the world different before there were people? I'm going to say this is a legend, and structurally, that's probably going to be at the beginning of the story, right? If I need to figure out what happened before, right, I'm going to go to the beginning of the story. So I'm going to go to the 1st paragraph. So it says, long ago, before there were any people in the world, the different animals and trees moved about and talked together. So which, Zion, of the choices are the best? Say again? D. Excellente. See how we did that? I'm assuming, children, I know I didn't say it because I'm doing 14 other things. What number was that? Number 5? Okay. I'm assuming that if you did not get them right or you did not do them, you are doing them now with me and correcting your work. Yes? Okay, very good. That's a big assumption on my part. All right, number 6. What would have happened if the Pines fire secret had not been discovered? I got to tell you, this is a bad question. It's not a bad question. There's bad choices, and this is the one that made me go check the teacher answer sheet, because I came up with 2 different answers. So I want to look at all the choices. Put your hand down and rest for a minute. Okay. What would have happened if the Pines fire secret had not been discovered? Would animals and trees would live in a world without people? Animals and other wildlife would not exist. People would find fire only in the wood of the pine, or pines and cedars would be the only kinds of trees. I think there's 2 really good answers. I think B and C work. Okay. Animals and other wildlife, like, because if they froze to death in that winter, like, you can make that prediction, right? But because this is a story about how fire came to be and how people got fire, or, whatever, the answer is C. Okay. So where's our proof? What'd you put for proof, Paige? Oh, okay. Anybody get this one right? No. All right. Yeah. This is one of those, if I made you do this one and you got it wrong, I wouldn't count it against you because I don't think it's a fair question. I don't think the way it's worded is fair because I think you really could make the prediction. I'm going to box in the last paragraph, and this is number 6 because it's a story about fire. Oh, no, it's number 6. Okay. All right, let me do a time check. We got like 5 minutes left. All right, we already did number 7. So let's scroll down to number 8. There is enough information in the legend to figure out that Beaver devised his plan with the assistance of other animals. The cedar had pursued Beaver for many miles. In time, the pines would have shared their secret with the animals, or the only animal to attempt to discover the fire was Beaver. Go ahead, Haley.
I don't know if it was right, but the last one that says the only animals to attempt the fire secret was Beaver, because it was true.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood what you said at first. So you said you picked, I think, D, the only animal to attempt to discover the fire secret was Beaver. Is that true? No. Is that, you got to go according to the story. Okay, if you go to the beginning of the story, it says the pines had the secret of fire and guarded it nearby. No matter how cold it was, they could always warm themselves. And then all animals were in danger of freezing. They tried to get the pines to help them. So that shows that other animals besides Beaver tried to get the secret. So it can't be D for number 8. Okay, because there's evidence in the text that says other animals did try. You don't hear their story of how. Carl, what'd you get for number 8? Or what do you think number 8 is, even if you didn't get that far? In time, the pines would have shared their secret with the animals. What in the text would make you say that they would have if they were like setting guards and they were chasing the guy that took the coal? Is there anything in the text that says, yeah, we're all of a sudden we're going to change our mind? No, it's not C. We're winding down here. Alex, it is B. The cedar had pursued Beaver for many miles. What's your evidence? This is number 8. I bet you could, oh, I can't write my number 8 on there really well. Okay, I bet that you could probably find other evidence in there, like the actual chase, right? You can like probably go up into the previous paragraphs, but that sort of sums it up for us. Good. Okay. We only have a couple minutes left, so I'm just gonna go through the answers of the rest of them first. And then if we have time, we'll go back and look at the evidence for it, okay? Which of these is a fact? The correct answer here is B. None of the trees were able to capture Beaver. Okay. So let me just look at this again. The pines were selfish. If you're saying somebody was selfish, that is an opinion. Okay. The Beaver was more resourceful. That is an opinion. The cedar should have opinion words. Okay. You don't even have to go back to the text. You can do it right from the choices. Number 10, the legend was written mainly to, and the correct answer is C. Explain how fire was able to be made from trees. It's a whole story of how the day Beaver stole fire. Look at the title. The title could be your proof. Right? Yeah. Okay, hold on. I gotta look at the chat. I got an idea. Okay, Haley, let me go through these and then we'll talk, okay? All right, number 11, you can figure out that hit upon a scheme means, and we talked about this yesterday, pause to reflect, devise a plan, remained concealed, waited patiently. Best answer is devised a plan. Again, that's like that vocabulary one. You could take these phrases and plug them into where hit upon a scheme was and see which one makes sense. Problem comes when you don't know what the other words mean. Last one, number 12, and I'm going to read it because the bell just rang, is D. Fire can be tamed with trees because of a clever beaver. Haley, do you still have a question or comment? Quickly, hon. No, you're good? Okay, so we're going to have to end our, thank you, Haley. We're going to have to end our meeting because I'm late and that was the bell. Okay, next week, we're gonna do a claim evidence paragraph based on the same story. All righty? Adios, muchachos. Gotta go, guys. Running late.
Bye.
Bye. I thought I just ended that. Why are they still yelling at me?